Respected viewers, you need to hear this right now because what I'm about to reveal could completely change the way you see the crypto world, especially XRP and HBAR. Big things are happening behind the scenes, moves that only a few insiders seem to know about. And if you're holding these coins or thinking about getting in, this is the moment you cannot afford to ignore. BlackRock, the IMF, and some of the biggest banks in the world are quietly getting involved in ways that could shake the market to its core. You're about to get a look at news that could change everything for Ripple and Hedera, news that mainstream media won't tell you. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe because this channel is your frontline access to insider updates you cannot get anywhere else. Time is ticking, and every second you wait could be costing you the chance to act before the next big wave hits. The landscape for XRP is heating up fast. Ripple is making strategic moves, partnerships, and settlements that hint at a massive adoption curve we haven't seen in years. At the same time, HBAR is quietly positioning itself as the blockchain everyone will be talking about in 2026. Big financial players are starting to notice. When institutions like BlackRock and banks affiliated with the IMF begin showing interest, you know it's not a coincidence. These moves are calculated and they are happening right now. The question is, are you ready to understand what's really coming and why this could be the moment that changes everything for your portfolio? This is not just hype. There are real shifts happening with regulations, cross-border payments, and DeFi adoption that are pushing XRP and HBAR into a position that could see explosive growth. You might be seeing price movements now, but what you're about to learn goes far deeper. We're talking about strategic partnerships, backroom deals, and technological upgrades that could make these coins indispensable to the global financial system. The insider whispers you hear on forums are starting to make sense, and you're about to get the full picture, explained in a way that makes sense for everyone, even if you're new to crypto. The data behind what's happening with XRP and HBAR right now is mind-blowing, and it's coming straight from sources that rarely make headlines. XRP has been quietly signing agreements with payment processors and banks in Europe and Asia, while Hedera is seeing adoption by tech companies and governments for fast, secure transactions. When you hear names like BlackRock, JP Morgan, and the IMF associated with projects like this, you need to pay attention because these are the players that move billions, not just millions. XRP's liquidity and cross-border capabilities make it a perfect tool for banks that want faster settlement without traditional friction. And HBAR's unique proof-of-stake model is attracting enterprise-level adoption for smart contracts and real-world applications. Regulatory clarity is another huge piece of this puzzle. The SEC has been in discussions with Ripple for years, and insiders suggest that a settlement could finally clear the air, opening the floodgates for institutional investors. Imagine the kind of money we're talking about. Trillions of dollars in traditional finance slowly moving into crypto, starting with coins like XRP and HBAR, because they already have real-world use cases. Reports indicate that some of these institutions have been quietly buying positions in both coins for months, positioning themselves ahead of public announcements that could make the prices spike dramatically. The on-chain data also tells a story. Large wallets are accumulating XRP at rates we haven't seen since the 2021 bull run, and HBAR's network activity is growing steadily as enterprise adoption ramps up. When whales and institutions start stacking, it's never random. They have insight, research, and inside channels that the average investor doesn't see. This is why now, more than ever, you need to pay attention. If you're waiting for mainstream news to confirm what's happening, you're already late. These moves are happening quietly, strategically, and in plain sight for anyone willing to look. Now, let's talk about the catalysts that could send XRP and HBAR soaring. And also why some of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt you see online is completely overblown. First, Ripple has been rolling out new payment corridors with banks in Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. These corridors are not just small tests. They're real money moving through real networks. Every new partnership increases the demand for XRP because banks need the coin to settle payments instantly. Meanwhile, Hedera is being quietly integrated into enterprise solutions for supply chains, tokenization, and even government projects. This isn't hype. These are practical applications that create real-world demand. Some people online are scared because of regulatory uncertainty, price dips, or rumors of competition. But here's the insider secret. These dips are often the exact moments institutions use to buy more. When the SEC has discussions with Ripple, it doesn't always mean a crackdown. It can mean a structured settlement that unlocks billions of dollars in institutional interest. When you see HBAR's price fluctuating, remember that enterprise adoption doesn't always move in sync with speculation. The technology adoption curve is slower, but it's much more reliable than hype-driven pumps. And here's something most people miss. Big financial institutions like BlackRock, Fidelity, and even JP Morgan have been quietly building infrastructure around XRP and HBAR. Custody solutions, trading desks, and integration with existing financial systems are all in place. When these systems go live, there's a chance for a surge in demand that the average retail investor won't even see coming. So when you hear the FUD that XRP is risky, HBAR is overhyped, remember, the real game is happening behind closed doors with players who control trillions, not just millions. Knowing this gives you an edge most people don't have. Now let's break down why the price of XRP and HBAR could be set up for a massive move, and why acting too late could cost you. XRP's price potential comes from real-world adoption and massive liquidity. When banks start settling cross-border payments using XRP, every transaction creates demand for the coin. That's not speculation, that's economics in action. And the more financial giants like BlackRock or JP Morgan quietly accumulate, the tighter the supply becomes, pushing the price up even before mainstream news reports it. HBAR, on the other hand, has a smaller circulating supply but is seeing steady growth in enterprise use cases. That means each adoption announcement, each partnership, has a bigger effect on price than you might think. We also have to factor in the broader crypto market. As regulations become clearer and institutional money flows in, coins with real utility like XRP and HBAR stand to benefit far more than meme coins or low-use tokens. Think of it this way: the smart money is stacking assets that solve real problems. Ripple's banking infrastructure and Hedera's enterprise-grade blockchain put them in a league that many retail investors don't fully appreciate yet. Timing is critical. The coins could move quickly once big players make their moves public. Every day you wait could be lost opportunity. Here's the final warning. Don't get distracted by small price dips, panic posts, or sensational headlines. The real story is behind closed doors, in strategic partnerships, regulatory clarity, and institutional adoption. This is your chance to understand the moves before the public sees them, but you need to be alert, informed, and ready to act. XRP and HBAR are not just digital assets, they are potential gateways to a new financial reality, and missing this window could mean missing the biggest opportunity of the year. Stay sharp, stay informed, and keep watching closely, because the next move could come at any moment. In conclusion, what's happening with XRP and HBAR right now is bigger than most people realize. The combination of institutional interest, real-world adoption, and regulatory clarity is creating a setup that could change the market dramatically. Banks, BlackRock, and even government-linked projects are quietly positioning themselves, and that means there is serious momentum building behind the scenes. The FUD you see online is mostly noise. The real story is the slow, steady accumulation and integration of these coins into the global financial system. If you stay informed, understand the catalysts, and watch the data, you're in a position to make smarter decisions before the masses catch on. Remember, this is a long-term shift, not a quick pump. XRP and HBAR are being built into systems that could define the future of payments, enterprise blockchain, and global finance. Don't wait for headlines to tell you what's happening. Be ready to act based on the facts that insiders are already seeing. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update, because the next big move could happen at any time. Stay alert, stay informed, and get ready for what's coming. Respected viewers, you need to hear this right now, because what I'm about to reveal could completely change